That's how we came with the name Primi Piatti, because that would signify then the focus on the Primi Piatti dishes, and obviously not the full repertoire of a restaurant, a bistro, a trattoria. And that's why we did that. Over time it evolved.
Okay, so I see that there's like a philosophy behind it. It's like well thought. So what is Primi Piatti today?
Well, Primi Piatti, I mean, pretty soon, I mean, because we were quite well known from our restaurant. My father's name is Nino, and he started restaurants at the age of 40 in Johannesburg. He was a classical musician before that, both parents. And so he got us into the restaurants. And when we came to Cape Town, we opened up, it was in Green Market Square, it was called Nino Coffee Shop and Restaurant. And in that we did all the typical trattoria foods. We made, we primarily served we were open from morning to, we didn't serve dinner, but we were open up till about 5-6 o'clock.
Okay.
So our focus was on breakfast and lunch. And so we served the usual. We had our sandwiches, we had our breakfast, we had the usual sort of coffee shop stuff, but then it also gave us an opportunity to start playing with some of our food. And so we introduced, typically, I mean, we were serving rabbit with gnocchi, we were serving tripe. I mean, we were doing what we wanted to do.
Okay.
So we became synonymous with it.
Okay.
And so when we opened up Primi Piatti at the waterfront, people came in and they knew us as the family, and they looked and they said, well, look, that's all very nice what you're doing in Primi Piatti, but we want the same food that we got before. So it put us under pressure, because the idea was also that we were going to create a menu that would be able to be a little bit simpler for us to do in multi-unit stores.
Yeah.
But it never really, I mean, from day one we were buggered with that idea because of the heritage that we had. So the menu sort of evolved into I would say into a typical, the structure is a formal Italian dining format.
Yeah.
What we do have is we've included a section which we call currently comfort food, which allows us to take the things that aren't historically Italian, things like hamburgers and ribs and wings, things where there is a demand for, but which don't fit into a menu. We dump it inside there. So that's where I've got my little bit of room. If I want to go Asian, I can play there. If I want to go, whatever I want to do, that is my area. But in terms of my menu, I try to keep a base of, I work from sort of the classic Italian base and then evolve it from there. So the format is antipasti, primi piatti, the pizza, and secondi piatti that goes with it, and then dolce sweets.
Okay.
So that's what it is now.
Okay. And so, in a place like the waterfront, I mean, there's so many restaurants. Why should people come to Primi Piatti?
Well, what we did, and that was also one of our sort of initial ideas, and we've managed to stick through with it, was that we wanted to create dishes that were espresso, meaning that we could cook immediately.
Okay.
So right from the outset, I mean, we had this battle, because for me to be able to produce that dish on the spot is where I'm going to get the best flavor. It's where I'm going to get where the person is going to feel that dish the most.
Yeah.
But it also creates the most challenge, because now if you're at the mercy of the person making it, you're at the mercy of every ingredient. There's no pre-preparation.
Yes.
We don't work with classic stocks, pre-made stocks. We don't work, so everything we do, I must be able to make it in the pot right there.
Okay.
Also, we've sort of stayed away from pre-made manufacture. We have a central kitchen and it's a big facility, but what we use that facility to do is to make things like mayonnaises, our own mayonnaise. We make some of our own breads. We make anything that we need slow cooked. So like, for instance, I do a special on a lamb shank. I do a bolognese proper one. It's a 3-hour cook.
Okay.
So I'm doing all of those things there. I can't do that in store, but in store I am cooking to order, and I'm cooking fresh. And what we were able to do is not only to cook fresh, but also to cook it quickly. So it's got a lot to do with the sort of philosophy behind the way we want our people to work.
Okay.
That is something that is really very important. It's not just making the dish, but it's the way that dish is made. And the philosophy behind that, the philosophy behind that is basically sort of saying we've cottoned onto a phrase called love is work made visible. Meaning, it's like when a mother cooks for their child. That is an act of love, even though it's work. She doesn't see it as work. It's something that she's doing out of love.
Yes, yes.
That dish that child eats has the love in it. You see, so it's very different to if somebody's cooking something for you and they don't want to cook for you, or they don't like it, or they're trying to take money from you, or they're trying to, you understand? It's a different thing that comes through. So that has been sort of, that has been a challenge and also one of our biggest victories, because we have been able to achieve that for a large extent. I'm not saying that we get it all the time everywhere, but certainly that, but that is also one of those levels. So the point is, how do we create something that is homely, that we do with love? People have always said to me, my portions are too big. Why do we make such big portions? And I say, because I eat a lot and it's my way of giving love. Yeah. So it's what I do. If somebody gives me a small portion of food, I'll tell it. You understand? So that is why it's not any other reason. It's just because it's my way. It's the way. Don't finish it, but don't certainly leave you hungry. And if I look at that's the way my mother brought me up, that's the way my grandmother brought me up, and that's the way I'm going to do it to my kids.
I understand. Now, how do you instill that philosophy in your whole staff? Because I understand from the kitchen point of view, but then how do you get everybody on board?
I think if you take if you place focus on people's personal contribution to whatever they do, so not professional contribution, but personal contribution, meaning as a character, as a person, what do you bring to the environment? So obviously, and we've over the years sort of been able to, and we've placed a lot of emphasis. We place in terms of the initial stages of employment, we focus more on the personal contribution than the professional contribution. So a person that comes in might be a skilled waiter, might be a skilled barman, might be a skilled chef, but if his intention is not correct, he's not going to go anywhere. So we're very intent motivated, not delivery motivated, because we believe that if the intent is right, eventually the delivery will be right. But if the intent is not right, it will never be right, and we will crash. So what we do is we set that out, and a lot of people, and it's very simple, because the things that we ask for and the things that we look at are things that are almost commonsensical, and things that would have been taught by parents, and things that would have been taught. It's not rocket science, but it is to bring that, to make people aware that that is a focus for us. Bring that and bring that out in people, because it is in people. Everybody has it. Everybody has it there, but they don't bring it with them into a workplace, because for them it's a different place, and for us we're saying it's not a different place. You spend more time here than you spend at home, and we're a family. And so you as a person, we need to know who you are. We need you to bring those elements for us to be able to create this positive space. So you're working towards not only just producing food or producing things, but producing a positive space. What we find is when you do get people to strive and you create that positive space, the food is better, the service is better, customers are happy, staff are happy. So it is an intangible, but it is, and it's difficult, but it goes in the food. It definitely goes into it. And we've tasted it, and we lose it along the way, but we keep on striving to go back there. That's why it's very difficult. It's not the sort of the sort of general professional measurement for staff. It doesn't happen here. Here it starts with, have you got discipline? Have you got self-pride? Do you have self-belief? Do you have ambition? Where do you want? Do you have self-respect? If you don't, these are things that you need to work with. And it's irrelevant that it's attached to money, because money is not, you don't say, well, I'll work a bit harder because I earn a bit more, or I will, it's what you do today. It's how you make every hour and every day count in your life. Whether you're here, whether you're in another business, whether you're at school, whether you're in jail, doesn't matter. That time must count, otherwise you're wasting time. And so that message comes through, and that what you find is that you have slowly, after periods of, usually takes about 6 months. And after 6 months, you'll find that there's a light switch, and people start to see it, and they start to become self-motivated and driven and want to succeed personally. And now what we do is we enjoy the ride with them. See, because once you get the person on that page, the way that you interact with them it's completely different. You're not managing them with a stick. It's a different thing. But it is difficult. It is challenging. But because we've tasted it once, we know it, and that's what we will chase.
Okay. So what would you say the future is now for Primi Piatti?
Well, look, I mean, we've expanded. I mean, we've been around now since 1999. and we started. Lots of things have changed since '99. I mean, we went on quite a big expansion drive. We were, I think, up until 2008, until the collapse. I mean, we were opening up basically every time there was a shopping centre, we were opening, and there were some funded stores and government-funded stores and things that we had along the way, and we met problems, and then we had the downturn in 2008, and we've had a lot of cleaning up mess to do over the last, let's call it 5-8 years. We have come through that. We also, in terms of franchising and how the business, franchising itself at the moment is under pressure. It's not, people don't have money to go and buy, and I think that, and also the whole, for us to be able to bring through our philosophy and to be, it's not easy through a franchisee. We have tried, and we have to achieve some success, and we've had to achieve some failures. But effectively now we want to go back to what we know, or we want to go back to what we know, and make that strong. And now we are investing in revamping of our stores. Look, we have a lot of stores all over the country. In the next 2 months we'll be revamping our Eastgate store in Johannesburg and Rosebank stores, and we've got a very exciting new look and feel. We've got our focus. When we expanded initially and we went so big, we went into regions where the philosophy behind Primi would not have been felt. So Potchefstroom, Bloemfontein, Witbank, so these are and you almost find yourself trying to be too many things to too many people.
And you lose identity.
And you lose, So, I mean, and we've made those mistakes, we understand them, and I don't think we're the only people that have made those mistakes, but we also now know, and more than ever, that what we need to do, and that's to go back to what is in the heart and what we do, and what we do. And that is exactly what we're doing now. We want to go back to a more informalized space. We want to create a more energetic space. Look, Primi has always been, and one of the strengths is that it's a very inclusive space, meaning our customer base, people always say to me, what is your LSM target? What is your target market? Who are you catering for? And I quite say to us, I don't know. I don't know who they are, and I'm not targeting anybody. If you ask me that honestly, I'm targeting the person that feels, if you can relate to me, then I'm targeting. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how rich or how poor, what color. It doesn't matter. And if you come into the space and you see, typically our spaces are very cosmopolitan. You can't go there. You can't come into the store at any time when you're walking in and it's busy. You can't pick up. You can't pick up what trend. Is it tourists? Is it white people? Is it black people? Is it middle? You can't. It's just it's a very inclusive space, which I think is a very positive. I think it's great because there's nobody feeling uncomfortable in the space. Obviously, so something must be right. To them.
Definitely. Cool. Francesco, thank you very much for your time. That was very instructive, and you're very passionate, which is what I think this is the main ingredient.
Oh, you need to be, whatever you do. You're not going to be doing this after 20 years.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you, Francesco.
Hi, how are you?
Can you tell us your name and what you do?
Okay, my name is Roxanne Pretorius. I'm the executive sous chef for the Primi Group. I'm mainly based here at the Waterfront because we're a flagship restaurant.
Okay.
I'm in charge of staff controlling quality of the food, baking, kind of around it.
Okay. Can you tell me why you work at Primi Piatti instead of anywhere else?
Well, I decided to take this step in my career as it was a corporate, it's a corporate group. It's a franchise, so I needed to learn a different side of the kitchen and of being a chef. Definitely, it's more, like I said, corporate. It's completely different. So I just wanted to add this as more experience, as well as my executive experience because of my title. So I definitely need more.
And those are technical reasons.
Yeah, it's more logistical side of it.
Are there any emotional reasons or?
I heard a lot about Francesco as well, so I heard he was a great restaurateur, so I wanted to learn from him. I've been here less than a year and I've learned everything's crammed in my head already, So he's a great mentor and I want to learn from him. So,
Great, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, and you?
Great.
Can you tell me your name and what you do?
Okay, my name is Tinashi, and I work for Primi Piatti DNA Winner.
What do you do here?
I work as a waiter.
Okay. Now tell me, why do you work for Primi Piatti and not for any other restaurant?
It's because of the energy.
The energy.
Yeah, and I would say the way they approach things is totally different from the other guys. Here, it's freestyle. If you know what I mean.
No, tell me.
So,
What do you mean?
okay, here's the thing. If you go other places, you see they've got certain ways of approaching the customer, right? A formal way, but here it's
Rigid.
yeah, it's not formal, but it's still can't find like the way to say it, but
You're free to express yourself.
yeah, you're free to express yourself.
Good.
Free.
Great.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
Let's chat.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you tell me your name and what you do?
Okay, my name is Zanasi. I'm originally from Zimbabwe.
Okay.
I've been working at Primi for 4 years, going on 5.
Okay.
Yes.
And what do you do here?
I'm a senior waitress.
Okay. Now tell me, why do you work at Primi Piatti and not somewhere else?
I love this place. It's
Why?
awesome. It's awesome. It's great. I meet fantastic people. I love what I do. And sometimes even when I'm waitering or serving a table, it's the communication, it's the vibe I have at the table, you know. And some of the customers have become my friends, and you know, I look forward in them. At first, it used to be about the tip, but now it's much more deep than the tip. It's the connection, because it makes me become a better person. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much.